Hey, how are you, my friends? This is your friend from Motivation Mastermind. Today we're going to jump right into it. We're going to talk about two mindsets. One is the abundance and the other is the scarcity mentality. We'll talk a little bit about why that's so important. You've heard me mention many times that obviously we know that actions are the driving force into getting things done in this life and accomplishment. We've got to get our feet on the ground. We've got to get traction. But the programming and the passion behind that are our thoughts. The scarcity mentality and the abundance mentality are two mindsets starkly contrasted one to another. Most of us live from a scarcity mindset. Even the most positive people very easily fall into that because of just socialization. But we're going to talk about scarcity and abundance. Abundance is the ability to view a situation in life that generally there's just enough. There is enough and even more than enough, not only for yourself, but for everyone, rather than living in a space of envy and coveting what someone else has, because there's a danger in this. The danger is that we covet what someone has, but then we may not be willing to pay the price to get it. And that creates a lot of tension in our life. Having an abundance mentality allows us to believe not only that there's enough, but that we are good enough and that we have the abundance of the energy, the abilities, and positivity to move to a place where we can be more positive and that we can accomplish things. Stick with us. We're going to jump into it. Thanks.
I look back on my life, and there have been times that, I have not accomplished my goals, or even had slumps where I've been happy, maybe even depressed a little bit. All of these things are natural, and as I think about my desire to step forward, or to step forward again, because there's been times in my life that I've had an abundance mindset, in a desire to promote positive thinking and that type of thing. I've been profoundly involved in that many times in my life, and there's been times when I've stepped back from it, and I can see a tremendous difference in the way I feel and in the things that I accomplished in my life. I don't necessarily want to share all of the times that I failed, but as most people, it's enough that I hope that I've learned from it. But there's one thing that I reflect upon, and it's an easy reflection to think about. It's not difficult concepts to process in our minds, and that is at a very high level, and we could go very deep into this, but it's two different mindsets. We have really two choices, and that is to have what's termed by many people an abundance mindset or a scarcity mindset. And there's a stark contrast between the two. An abundance mindset is living in a space, if you will, mentally, where we feel like there is enough, and not only enough for us, but enough for everyone. And I will tell you, with a play on words here, the scarcest thing on earth, I believe, the scarcest resource on earth, are people with an abundance mindset. Most of us live in a scarcity mindset, and it's not difficult to imagine that. We evolved from a situation where sometimes we did not know where the next meal came from. We were always having to worry about dangers around us, and we pay attention to that, because if you miss the bad news, if you will, you could die. I mean, if you didn't know the enemy was coming. And to some degree, that's still true, right? I mean, we have to be aware of things that are around us. But we live in different times now that, for the most part, there is enough success to go around, and more than enough success to go around for everyone. And to hold on to these things and believe that there's not enough, and we just want to hold on to that $5 bill or $10 bill or $1,000. We just want to hold on to it so much that we're not open to possible opportunities where we can multiply that money and become, wealthier or happier. And money's such an easy thing as well, and that's just a kind of a side note. Money's such an easy thing to measure, but there are many other types of things in our life that aren't so measurable, that still have tremendous value for us. Our level of happiness, if we really could measure that. I don't know we can say, on a scale of 1 to 10, but how do you really measure that? How do you measure it biochemically? I think that's possible, that can be done, that you create a situation in your life where you have a certain amount of endorphins or whatever, and you feel a certain way, which brings a certain level of joy. That's measurable, but it's not measurable to the average person, that we just don't get feedback like that. Anyway, so money's is an easy one. Other things aren't quite as easy, but it's relevant. So an abundance mindset is living more of in a space where we feel like and we can believe that we have enough. I told my wife a long time ago, I had read something that profoundly affected me, and that was that I had read something that says, referring to eating, it says that enough is a feast. Enough is a feast. So sincerely, when I begin to think like that I could literally sit down and have one bowl of soup, or maybe an apple with a juice on the side, and literally I could live in the moment, and I felt like it was a feast. Scarcity tends to look at everything. Scarcity mindset tends to look at everything around them and is potentially protecting themselves from anything that might happen. Again, awareness is important, but anything that we have in our minds in terms of learning or awareness can be taken to extremes. So, overreacting, having too much fear about losing, those type of things. I mean, this is something that can be taken very, very deeply into other discussions. I encourage you. I'm sitting here in my car, just in the parking lot. I do this often because I think about things on the road to work, and I listen to stuff. I can't develop all that body of knowledge in just 5 or 10 minutes, but I encourage you, go out on YouTube, just look up scarcity and abundance mindset and see what comes up. There is a tremendous amount of opportunities for you to learn, and I ask you to consider the possibility. Consider the opportunity that it really is true that if you change the way you think and you believe that you have the power to change your thoughts, you are not a machine. We're put on this earth. We're very different from other animals. We don't just live by instinct. We have associating minds. We have the ability to reason. We're very unique in this universe. At least we believe we are, right? But we have the ability to change who we are. There are people who have lived in dire circumstances that have somehow, some way, broken through and changed the way they believed. And because of that, they have created tremendous abundance in their life. And there are people likewise that have everything, or we think that they have everything, it seems, but they just don't have enough in their own mind. Look at some of the most famous people in the world, and it's a tragedy. I mean, we can speak frankly about them. Look at Robin Williams, tremendous man that gave so much, but there was just, and he made so many people laugh, but there was just some things in his mind that did not allow him to feel joy. Now, I don't know, there could have been some health problems, but I think you get the point that we can have everything and believe we don't have nothing, or we can have nothing and believe we have everything, and we can move mentally toward those spaces. As always, my job here and my passion is to bring to you the ability to think for yourselves and to realize that we are affected by things around us, and for you to believe that your mind is the most powerful instrument that you have in your arsenal to feel joy, to push abundance, and to feel greater joy in your life for those around you. As always, this is your friend from Motivation Mastermind. I'll see you at the top.
So to wrap up today, if you've received any value from what you've heard or seen, please like, subscribe, or comment so that we know that we're providing value to you. As always, we're here to bring you the good, the clean, the pure, the powerful, and positive, and remind you that you are good enough. Thank you, my friends.